Just call me Dice or Butter, why? Because nigga, I'm on the road. You cannot reach me, my phone is right there, nigga, I'm on the road. Tired of hiding my talent, so let me go put on a show. You got locked up, now you out, man, it's fishy, you probably told. Been on this journey so long to the point that I traveled so far.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rio, man. I'm coming at you with something different today, man. I'm about to dig in my bag with something special real quick, man. Hold up.
Hi, my name is Harper Hemphill. I'm a mother of 4 beautiful kids, Harper, Haley, Chancellor, and Liam.
Hello, everybody. My name is Harper Hemphill, father of 4. This is my beautiful wife, Raven. I have the 4 children, Liam, Chancellor, Harper, and Haley. And today we are here to speak about our daughter, Harper Hemphill. First of all, before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to Cloud TV for having us here today and allowing us the opportunity to bring awareness to a very rare condition called tuberous sclerosis. Our daughter has this particular condition, and it's something that's not, well known about. And we do appreciate their support on helping us bring awareness to this current condition.
Tuberous sclerosis is a rare genetic disorder. It takes on different stages based on your age. So from birth, it's basically a disorder of your brain and your heart. Harper experienced both of those. She was born with multiple tumors all over her heart. The doctor described it as like somebody spreading marbles all over your heart. So when you look at her EKG, it looked like a bunch of little holes all over her heart. And then we also did an MRI. She had multiple all over her brain. As you get older, it takes over your lungs, your kidneys. It can also, these tumors are all benign, so they can grow in your eyes. And everybody's impacted different. Every child writes their own story. So one child can't walk on time. One child might thrive their whole life without even experiencing nothing. So you really don't know how this condition, this disorder is going to actually impact your child. It's the disease of the unknown. Every day it could be something different. Essentially,
When we first realized and knew that she had tuberous sclerosis was when she was in utero. During that time, during the scans of the baby during the pregnancy, they would see little discrepancies on her organs, and they really didn't know what it was, but they kind of had an idea. So with that being said, they kind of had an idea of she had something going on, but couldn't confirm it until she was born. So essentially, we knew from the beginning that it was something going on with her, but we didn't know exactly what it was. And so once she was born, they were able to test and just confirm the fact that she did have tuberous sclerosis, because they did see discrepancies on her heart, which is one of the organs that it does affect. And it's one way that they can detect this disorder early in early child stages.
And it was also, these children have rare markings on them, like skin lesions. And so Harper had one that covered her heart. It looked like, most people would think of it as like a birthmark, but, and it was just like a little light patch over her heart. And now you barely can even tell she has it. But then that was something they was like, we think she might have this. So we had to do a consult with a genetic specialist, because either you're born with this, like you can pass on, parents can pass this on if they have the gene in them. But with Harper, it was just a small mutation in her chromosomes. Like it wasn't passed down from me and Hurley.
So day to day, I feel like the way that this impacts us the most is being on a repetitive schedule. This is sort of how it affects our everyday life. So you kind of have to structure your life around those time frames. When you go out and want to have family time, We have to make sure that if she gets her medication at 6 in the morning, she has to get it again at 6 p.m.
How tuberous sclerosis affects our everyday life. Being a mother of 4, it's hard keeping track of Harper's medications and being on top of the other kids as well. And I think one of the biggest things is like she needs this medicine. And the earlier she gets up, she's cranky. It's like trying to get your child to eat their vegetables. And you need this medicine to survive basically. And you're refusing. You don't want it. You're still sleepy. You see your other siblings playing, and you have to sit up here and take 3 different medicines all at once. So it's hard. And then another thing with her seizures, sometimes, when she first started having them, not getting sleep because you want to make sure you're on top of her and not missing anything. It's a lot. You're
concerned, you got cameras up, you're thinking about it and things like that. I don't think that it's really a full night's rest of ease at all, just because of what could happen. It keeps you up at night. I think
we do a lot of traveling for her medical appointments. Even as far as Boston, her regular neurologist, they're all the way in North Carolina. So sometimes we're up there twice a week, depending on her appointments and how they're run. And yeah.
I said, Mom. I said, would you buy me a deck of cards? She said, Junior, I don't gamble in my house. Ain't no cards coming in my house. I said, Mom, I don't need them for gambling. I don't want them for gambling. I just need a deck of cards, man.
We haven't seen any permanent changes in Harper as of yet, only because this disorder is a progressive disorder. Being that she's only 2, the things that's going on with her right now, they're not permanent, as the fact of when she was born, she had lesions on her heart that's no longer there. And the ones that's on her brain, they can be reduced or removed, and then she could develop fully as she gets older. Once they hit the age of 13, that's when you'll be able to see anything that'd be essentially what they would consider a permanent change, because that's when they begin to grow in their heart, their teeth, their other major organs. And then at that point, it's kind of like it's taking over the system. But as of right now, it's no real permanent changes that we've seen in Harper. Only thing that we've seen was her development. She's a twin, and comparing apples to apples, she's a little behind on her as far as her growth because of the lesions on her brain. But that can also change because the brain at her age can grow and reduce those tumors and lesions in her brain to catch up on her cognitive level. But as of right now, I feel like she's caught up and she's speaking, walking, and doing things like that. But I can't say the same for some other children, because at the same age, they're not able to walk, they're not able to talk, and things like that.
And Harper, when he's saying talking, she's compared to, she's probably like she's 2, but I would put her on a 1-year-old speaking level.
Yeah.
So she's on that 1 word, and she just started picking up like 1 words and doing repetitive stuff. So if you're saying mama and eat, like she's on a 1 phrase, and most 2-year-olds are, can put 3 words or say a sentence. So it is a delay there, but keeping up playing. She's very sociable. She's very playful. She loves interacting with her siblings. So it's pretty much the speech where we see the biggest development issue. Right now, she does physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy once a week. And this treatment is pretty much for the rest of her life until they feel like, you know, her seizures are under control, because every time she has a seizure, it impacts her, like her balance and things like that. So they have to make sure, you know, that stays level. And then sometimes, you know, her speech then gets reversed. Like she'll go from those one words to no words at all. So that's an ongoing thing.
Part of Harper's treatment plan is that she has to go to a specific clinic. She has to go to someone who specializes in neuro, kidney, heart, and any other major organs. So one of her treatment plans is every 3 months she has to go see all of these doctors to assess and evaluate all her major organs for any development or any growth of any tumors or anything like that she has going on. Another treatment that she has is, as of right now, she's on 3 medications that she takes. Some she takes twice a day, some she only has to take 1 a day. But as far as her treatment plan goes, it goes speech, occupational, physical therapy. Every 3 months she has to go to her TSC clinic, and every day she has to take at least 2 to 3 medications twice a day.
And she gets the EEG every 3 months. Some of these can be a 3-day stay to a 5-day stay.
And for people who don't know what an EEG reading is if you ever been to the hospital and you see people with leads hooked up to their head and it's wrapped around with a battery pack looking thing walking around with them, that's essentially what she has to go through at 2 years old for 3 days, can't leave her room, for them to like basically read her brain path, her brain waves, to establish any discourse or anything like that with her mental capacity readings and things like that.
I would say ever since she got on this last medication, Harper has picked up so much. She's doing more of the mimicking things that you used to see in children doing. She's doing a lot more one word, picking up these one words. Her vocabulary went from like 2 to almost 15 words since her last medication. We're also about to incorporate a natural CBD medication to her treatment. We're hoping positive outcomes from that, because after this treatment, if this fails, because Harper has already failed 2 seizure medications, our next step will be to meet with teams to discuss brain surgery. So we're hoping that this CBD is a great mix to her other medicines, because right now she's on a way better path than she was 2 months ago.
Dabo, I see you, babe.
She goes to Duke Children's Hospital and Boston's Children's Hospital.
And then she also does her physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy at Southeastern Kids Physical Therapy.
Southeastern Therapy for Kids. And then she also sees an eye specialist here locally in Richmond. Right now, thanks to insurance, we haven't seen a big toll, but we actually seen bills that one of her medications is over $30,000 a month. So therefore, if it wasn't for insurance, we don't know how we would pay for it. And that's just one. And then her other one is almost $20,000 a month. So all these medications, and that's why I feel strongly about insurance, because I don't know how other people would do it without it.
And not only just the medication, but the hospital stays. Yeah. Some of the hospital stays that, we go down over 30,000. One of them was like over $100,000 that they would expect somebody to come out of pocket and pay for just because they want their child to be better. Like, that's
getting second opinions, or just these EEG, just the two, when she ended up in intensive care. Like, those hospitals are very expensive.
Yes.
Hope for Harper is a virtual fundraiser being done by the TSC Alliance. Due to COVID, we're not able to do these big walks, so it's being done virtually. Everyone can just walk in front of their house. You can ride a bike, you can run. But these efforts is to gain money to spread awareness for research efforts for this rare genetic disease. Right now, it's no cure. So we have all these children impacted by this rare disorder with no cure. We have so many kids on all this medication, brain surgeries, in and out of hospitals, and it's no cure. We want to spread awareness, do our part for our child, Harper, and for these other children.
You can sign up by clicking the link in the bio and registering for the virtual walk. And you also, if you're not able to do the walk, you can just make your monetary donations via the link as well. I say this, just to be honest with everybody out there, just with this particular condition, a lot of times you don't even know that your child has it unless your doctors are really on it and things like that. But as your children get older and things like that, just pay attention to the little things. It's the little details that if something's not right, you need to ask about that. Because that's essentially how we found out that our daughter was basically epileptic, because my wife was paying attention to the little things that she was doing. Without that, I feel as though if we really didn't pay attention and take that time out and look at the little things with Harper as she was, growing up, I feel like it could be a lot worse than what it really is.
Yeah, and I'm going to piggyback off that. Like, be your child's advocate, because a lot of these times the doctors, they told me they thought Harper was having clumsy development. She was just falling for no reason. And you'll get that mother's intuition. You know when something's not right. And you need to speak on it. You need to stay on your doctors. If you don't understand the medication, if you don't understand, period, ask those questions, because your children don't have a voice. Be an advocate for your child. They tried to put my daughter's seizures for a whole month on clumsy development, and I had to basically force her into the emergency room, and they still was like, well, what is her neurologist saying? And I basically had to say, I don't care what he's saying, you're going to hook her up to this EEG. By the time they hooked her up to the EEG, they captured over 7 seizures. Yep. And if it wasn't for that, no telling how much this could have damaged her brain if it would have kept going and going. A month later, she's in the intensive care unit because of a seizure she had. Because most of the children with TSC, they're prone to more focal-like seizures. They're not supposed to have those big convulsive seizures like a lot of full bodies. But one day she was sent home, and that's another thing too, having a good support system, because Harper has amazing family and daycare, and that's able to capture her daycare. She's able to capture all videos when she sees something's not right, sending it to me so I can send it to the doctor. And you appreciate people around you like that, but so you can feel comfortable when your child's not around you. The day Harper went to the emergency room, which was the scariest day of my life, she was in her crib taking a nap, and I thought she just was waking up making a funny noise. But when I walked into the crib, she was unresponsive. She was foaming, her eyes just rolling back, and we just didn't know what. And as a mother, I had to stay calm because I had to figure out what was going on with my baby. I couldn't holler and scream to 911. I had to talk calmly so that they could get here without me repeating myself. My husband Hurley taking care of Harper. I'm walking back and forth, making sure that I'm outside to greet them, knowing all her medications off the top of my head, to tell these people, giving them all the information they needed in the ambulance so they could give her the treatment that she needed, being calm in those situations. I think that's something as a mother you learn to do. You learn to adapt. You learn to stay calm. You learn to take emotions out of it. Because some people say, well, how do you deal with this with all your other children? But my emotions was out of it a long time ago. I just think I do whatever's best for my child. I keep that clear head for Harper. That's what that hope for Harper is.
How do you know so much about Harper's condition?
Well, son, the thing about that is you have to study it and learn about it, the ins and outs of this condition, because I was going to be living with this for the rest of our life. And the thing about it is, the more you know, the better you do. So if you know better, you do better. So if we know that there's something going on with Harper, it's best to know everything about it so we can do the best that we can to give her the best possibility at a good future.
And thanks to her amazing team at Boston and Duke's Children's Hospital, they have gave us the information we need to do more research. We don't take what they give us as just black and white. We go and dig deeper. So that's how we know.
Make sure you subscribe and thumbs up. And if we get at least 1 million thumbs up, then I'll give you $20.
To the TSC Alliance.
We're the Hemphill family, and we give everything but up.